Let's see what we got. What we got inside Japan's worst tiny hotels. Let's see.
Famously dangerous. Japanese people even call it the slum of Japan. The area is known as the Nishinari ward of Osaka, and there's even a woman in the area
slums look
who's
like
famous
out there?
for being banned from all of the local bars. Japanese blogs depict this town as being overrun with homeless and with crime, with some going so far as to
'cause
say that
usually
the
they don't
area
have
should be
trash on the floor,
avoided
so-
entirely. In fact, just as I was
This is where the
shooting the
rumbles live.
opening, something really shocking happened to me. Somebody picked up my hat and just took off with it. Okay, I literally just recorded my opening here. I put my hat on this pole and some guy just put it on.
All right,
and
see,
went-
you made it seem like I thought he had that bitch on his head and the nigga just took it, but you said it right there. Look at all this trash and shit. Somebody thought it was, it was up for grabs, so you can't blame him. I don't blame him on that. Look at all this trash. You said a hat right there. Somebody said, "Ooh, a good hat."
went off. When I went to go after him, he started screaming at me, so he can have it. He can have the hat, but I have never had that experience in Japan. It was a hat, not a big deal, but
It wasn't that big deal. Why you ran after him? You could have just been like, "Oh,
okay.
I took my hat."
Due to the nature of the area, there is a strong police presence, but Nishinari has some incredibly cheap hotels, including what just might be the single cheapest hotel in Japan. This hotel right here is 500 yen per night. With the current exchange rate, that's just over $3 American.
$3?
But I just had a conversation with the owner who actually encouraged me not to stay here. He very
$3.
kindly and reasonably explained that
$3,
while
that
listed
bitch
as a
gotta be horrible.
hotel on Google, it's not intended to
And for the
be
owner
a
to tell you not to stay there,
hotel for travelers or
you
regular
know how they
people.
say if it's too good to be true, it probably is. $3 is probably too good. Even if you was homeless and nigga told you $3, man, go sleep on the street.
But rather kind of a specialty place for those without money. Floor and then walk up to the 6. They also seem to have 3.
Nah, that look nasty and
Just
dirty.
need to find the stairs. There we go. Then this should be my room. Oh wow.
What the
Okay.
fuck? I know you lying. You gotta be lying.
Okay, so this will officially
That's if
take
you
the
just-
cake for the smallest room
I guess that
I've
just,
ever spent the
you
night
just
in.
need it.
Should be happy that it has
Lay
a
down real
lock,
quick. You know,
and
nothing
he
else.
apparently the 500 yen hotel had none of that. So if you take a bath or go to the washroom, you have to take all of your stuff with you. Also, claustrophobics beware. I'm about to close the door and give the official room tour. I placed my sneakers in the garbage bin for now. They recommend not leaving them outside or they might get stolen. And
I see
this
everybody else
is
leaving them outside.
the
They
room.
must know a nigga
Comes
don't
with
want to take that
a
shit.
sponge mattress, which is actually pretty soft. Some futon bedding, a blanket, and a pillow filled with either barley
That'd be
or
like the worst pillow
something.
in the
I have a
world.
fan here, a little desk here, and a window that doesn't lock but opens out right to the main street. There's a single plug for the whole room, which has a multi-plug adapter that has a cord that runs all the way down to the other side of the room where it is plugged into yet another multi-plug adapter. Makes me wonder if they ever have power outages, but this actually isn't that much smaller than my first ever room in Japan. Even the desk setup is the same. The first place I stayed in was maybe double this, and I lived in that for a year. The window has zero insulation, so you hear everything outside. I'm curious about the restroom situation. Looking at Google
curious
Maps,
too.
though, there are
I
a
can
ton
imagine.
of restaurants, convenience stores, and everything in the area. For 1,000 yen, I have stayed in a lot worse places and paid a lot more. I had a hotel in Naples, Italy once that literally had a hole in the wall. It was amazing. It's like a window without the glass. Looking at it, it seems like there are quite a few rooms in here as well. There's a bit of a sink area over
This is
here.
the
If I'm
kitchen
not
for
mistaken, this
everybody.
should
Couldn't
be
do shit like that. We
the
all gotta
toilet.
share bathrooms and kitchens.
Okay, modern toilet with a washlet. This one too? Both of them. I was fully expecting traditional
So when you say a
Japanese style
wash lid,
hole in
you
the
wash
floor
the
type
lid on
toilet.
yourself?
Ceiling height is a little low,
I
but
thought that was
at this
the
point I'm
bidet
literally
too.
just nitpicking. On the first floor, there are also shower rooms, and they're actually really nice. And right outside the shower space, there's a whole row of vending machines. But I noticed something kind of funny about my room. Aside from the ultra modern and super safe wiring they have just nailed to a wooden board here, I've also just noticed that anybody can control my light from the outside of the room. Not to mention the mystery box. This mystery box right here. This lock seems to have purpose, but what's this guy doing? You know, on closer inspection, I think the screws just fell out. But I guess the question remains, what is it like to actually spend the night here? So I will get this room set up and we will do exactly that. So as I do this, the worst hotel in the entire country of Japan is not too far from here in Kobe, and I swung by there recently. There we go. The rooms are not
That's
entirely
actually smart though.
dissimilar
Like, that's
to
a
these.
genius idea for an entrepreneur. Nigga, like, fuck big ass rooms. We slice these bitches down to where you just got enough room to lay, and we can make buku rooms like this and you know, fuck make
But
some
they're
money.
in much worse condition. Not a big fan of these pillows, by the way. I visited there a couple months back, and even just the building and hallways were quite the experience. Like, the building itself gives off its serious do not enter vibes, and Japanese Twitter paints a picture of why, showing completely uninhabitable rooms. My goal was to stay for the night, but it took me a little while to
even
find
when they washed and cleaned all this shit, it's still like them sheets and the pillows he about to just lay on all freely. Man, I would have went to the store and bought some more sheets or something.
staff. The
I
broken
guess
cigarette
this
machine
for
in the
people who ain't got that
entrance
much
was also
money anyways.
covered in wanted posters, and then I got some bad news. It turns out they had just stopped running it as a hotel and were preparing to tear the building down as they waited for the remaining long-term guests to leave. He was kind enough to invite me to take a peek around before it disappeared, but there was definitely a creepy atmosphere to it. And for me, the tour ended somewhere between the creepy doll heads in the window and what has to be the single worst toilet I think I've ever seen. It might have been better that I didn't stay the night. In comparison to that, this isn't bad at all, but now it's time to see if I'll even fit. We're good. And it does feel just a little bit weird staying in a place like this today, seeing as I drove from Tokyo to Osaka this morning in a GTR. Heck of a drive, by the way. I will link, but I woke up at 5 a.m. for that, so I don't think I'm gonna have any trouble sleeping today. And I just realized that not only do I have to open the door to turn off my light, but there's no air conditioning in here, and that fan is the only source of air circulation, so this place might not be as comfortable in the depths of the summer or winter. And no curtains, so at least we'll know when morning's here. Always love a good night view though. Okay, good night.
And you leave it open if you want some air.
Okay, then the verdict is in. Excuse the morning face. It is exactly 6:05 a.m. and I slept pretty well. Had a ton of dreams, which probably means I didn't sleep as well as I think I did. But it got me thinking. Like, dollar for dollar, yen for yen, this has to be better than a capsule hotel in almost every single imaginable way. Like, you get your own private, locked, clean space, albeit a little noisy outside, with free shower, continental breakfast. No, there's no continental breakfast. But everything you have is right there for 1,000 yen. Like, especially seeing as since tourism picked up lately, even the capsule hotels
1,000 yen
aren't that
sounds
cheap
expensive,
anymore.
whatever.
Some of them are getting
$3
up
like
to
you
3,
said,
4,
American
5,000 yen a
dollars?
night for a
Do it.
box.
If we had some shit like that in out
I
here,
don't think
a
I
lot of
needed to
people-
clean the room, by the
It'll
way.
be good. They
Less of a
wouldn't have
requirement,
homelessness.
more just a habit.
Real talk.
I'm staying at a completely different hotel tonight. There are just way too many things I want to show off in detail, so I've started a Tokyo Lens Shorts channel. I'll put tonight's hotel and I had no idea there was a whole stairwell balcony here. I would have loved to see this view last night. That house down there has definitely seen better days, and that alley is just filled with trash. But would you stay here? Let me know. I will link an entire playlist of tiny...
Only if it's $3. If you say $3, I'd stay there if I was out there on some, like I said on the other one, on some hiding, running, or something like that. You ain't got no money. You trying to make your money stretch. Your last $3, hey, let me get it. Y'all let me know if I'm tripping, man. Like, time to subscribe.
Do it for the boy, just do it for the boy, just do it for the boy.